Hi again. I know I just told you in lecture 6 at the very end to start working on the exercises, but I have reconsidered that and I've created the last final lecture 7 about spelling rules. And I'm primarily doing this to help you with the exercises so that it is a little bit smoother for you. You'll know how to combine things. That's really what this is about. So how to combine the parts correctly. I'm really just going to be talking about the combining form and the suffixes. The prefixes, you just sort of attach them on. There's really no spelling rules about adding the prefixes. It really is more about the suffix. So we're going to talk about using a suffix that starts with a consonant, and then we're going to move on and talk about using a suffix starting with a vowel. The consonants are everything except A, E, I, O, U. So like B, C, D, those kinds of letters. This is actually the easier of the two when you have a suffix as a consonant. So my example is cardio, and then the suffix -ly, which is sort of hard to say by itself. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to drop the slash in cardio, and then the little hyphen that precedes see, it's really hard, logi. That's going to create cardio and logi. All you have to do now is add the two parts together. I told you this is the easier of the two. And then in that respect, you end up with cardiology. So it's really just combining them. It's easy because the consonant makes it easy. So another example, nephroempathy. You end up with nephroempathy. We've just removed the slash and the hyphen. And then our final word is pronounced nephropathy. All you're really doing is combining them. Nice and easy. Another example, hemo and lysis. You're going to end up with hemo and lysis. And when you put them together, the emphasis in the pronunciation is homolysis. So when you have a consonant, it's sort of a no biggie. You're just going to put the two parts together. Now, we started with the consonant because it's the easy one. The vowel makes it a little trickier, but again, I don't want to scare you off. This isn't hard, it's just different. So in my example, I'm going to still use cardio for my example, and now my suffix -ac, which means pertaining to. I'm going to still drop the slash and the hyphen. And this is obvious because you're never going to see a medical term with the slash and the hyphen, but I just want you to remember this as you're doing the exercises. And when I remove those two parts, it's going to create cardio and ac. Now, I'm going to drop that combining form vowel. In this case, it's an O to create cardi. I'm now going to put the two parts together, and I end up with cardiac. It wouldn't be cardioac. And this is probably a little obvious. You've heard of cardiac before. It sort of lends itself when you've already seen the medical term before. But when you do the exercises and this is a new medical term, you won't really know whether to drop the O or not. You are always going to drop that combining form vowel. You're not going to have two vowels together with the O and something else. Now in this case you have the I in cardi, but that vowel, the O, it's going to be almost always O. Remember, sometimes it could be an I, but that O is going to come off. Let's do another practice one. We have hystero for the uterus and ectomy for surgical removal. We're going to drop the O, which is going to give us hyster and ectomy and hysterectomy. Now, if you've probably seen that word before, you would know that it's not hysteroectomy. It's just hysterectomy. So when you have the vowel and the suffix, you're going to drop that O. Let's do another one. Gastro and itis. Gaster, which is really sort of tricky to say without the O, but it's just gastro and itis, giving us gastritis. You would know if you've seen this word before that it's not going to be gastroitis, right? So remember when you have a vowel to drop that combining form, usually the O, when you have the vowel leading. Okay, so that is a very little quick primer about how to put the word parts together correctly so that you can do the exercises with less frustration. So I hope that helps. But you know to give me a holler or drop me a line if you have questions. And now is the time to go ahead and start those exercises and yell for me if you need me. All right, take care.